Have you ever considered that your relationship with your father might be influencing your eating habits?
Yes.
It's a topic that doesn't get enough attention, but it is important, especially when it comes to binge eating. We often talk about the mother-daughter bond. What about dads? Their role is just as important, yet it is often overlooked. And today, I'm going to dive into something called father hunger. And I'm going to explore and explain how an emotional void left by an absent or unavailable father can play a huge role in binge eating. Father hunger is a term that describes the emotional void left by an absent or emotionally unavailable father. Whether your dad was physically absent, emotionally distant, or inconsistent in his attention, this kind of absence can leave you feeling empty inside. And many people try to fill that emptiness symbolically with food unconsciously. In my practice, I've seen this play out time and time again. Take Taran, for example. She's a successful woman in her mid-50s who struggled with binge eating her whole life. And on the surface, it just seemed like she wanted to lose weight. But when we dug deeper, we uncovered something much more profound. Taran had lost her father at a young age, and that loss left a massive void in her life, a classic case of father hunger. Instead of processing that grief and that loss, she turned it into a lifelong quest to make herself small, both physically and in a way emotionally, in the hopes that someone would come and take care of her. She talked about wanting a tiny body and often referred to her little feet and tiny hands as if she were still a small child. Binge eating was a way of self-soothing and filling the emptiness left by her father's absence, but it also kept her trapped in a cycle of shame, always feeling too big, and for her, that meant unworthy of care. The breakthrough came when Taran began to grieve the loss of her father and accept she couldn't go back and reclaim her childhood. As she did this painful but necessary work, something amazing happened. She embraced her adult self. She recognized her strength as an adult, and as she did, binge eating subsided. She no longer needed to be tiny and small to feel deserving of care. So her story shows how deeply our relationship with our parents, or the absence of those relationships, can affect our eating behaviors and our body image. It is rarely just about food or weight. It's about deeper needs and unresolved emotions and conflicts. Fathers play a unique role in a child's development. They offer a different kind of attachment than mothers do. They teach kids early on that there are many ways of being in the world. They often encourage physical play, much more than mothers do. They encourage independence. They help kids learn about their strength and capabilities. They also help children separate from their mothers, giving them the confidence to explore the world while knowing they have a safe base to return to. But what if your father was absent or unavailable, or the relationship was complicated in some other way? There's still hope for healing, and the first step is becoming aware of these patterns, aware of this void. Once you recognize how father hunger might be affecting your relationship with food, you can start to fill that inner emptiness in healthier ways, through relationships, through self-care, and developing a strong sense of self that doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. Healing is possible. Yes, it takes time. No, it is not easy, but you can develop a healthy relationship with both food and yourself. You can learn to nurture yourself in ways you might have missed out on as a child from your mother and your father. So what about you? How has your relationship with your dad influenced your life? Have you noticed any connections to your eating habits or body image based on this video? I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about this important topic.